Up with KREM begins now.
Good morning. It's 6 o'clock here on your Wednesday. Thanks for waking up with us here on Up with KREM. I'm Tim Pham.
And I'm Nicole Hernandez. Now, yesterday we got snow, and now that snow seems to be freezing to some of our roads. We've got our meteorologist Thomas Patrick here with us. Thomas, how cold is it right now?
Yeah, right now it's about 28 degrees or upper 20s for most of the region. So whatever snow or water or moisture that was still left over on the roads, that's all freezing over this morning. It's not an active snowfall, just whatever untreated streets and unshoveled sidewalks. Not looking too great out there. Now, I-90 and our major highways that did get that treatment and plowing, those are going to be A-OK for this morning. So we're just monitoring locations for black ice and patchy fog today. And then we'll be into another snow and wintry mix event for tomorrow. So two individual impacts there. On the dense fog, you're noticing that the Spokane Airport and West Plains is getting pretty foggy out there. So those are our usual trouble spots when it comes to the foggy conditions. So just mind that, especially from I-90 at around Highway 2 and westward. That's also the coldest spot at 27 at the airport, and it's mostly around 28 to 30 degrees elsewhere in the metro.
Here's a live look at the traffic impact this morning from I-90 in Freya. We are keeping a close eye on road conditions this morning with the potential for some black ice in certain areas. I-90 seems to be doing in good shape this morning, but of course some of those side roads could be a little slick, so just be careful as you head out the door this morning. The time now is 6:02 this morning, marks day 3 for classes being canceled in Moses Lake.
The Moses Lake Education Association and the school district still have not come to a contract agreement. Yesterday, the Education Association gave the district a proposal. The district says it is now reviewing that proposal and preparing a response. There are a few things the two still disagree on: prep time and funding for some educational programs. Now, in the past few years, the district has had some budget issues. Remember, they had an $11 million accounting error and 2 levies failed. Now, despite these school cancellations, families can still pick up breakfast and lunch every day between 11 a.m. and noon at any elementary school. And as for the school days missed, the district says they will have to make them up at the end of the school year.
We are learning new details this morning in a deadly shooting in downtown Spokane that happened earlier this week. Spokane police say they have arrested a suspect in connection to that shooting. KREM 2's Connor McAvoy was there as the suspect appeared in court.
33-year-old Randy Chaparro is facing a second-degree murder charge for an incident Spokane police say happened here at the Pine and Pacific intersection near downtown Spokane.
The statement that the defendant made allegedly that's outlined in the probable cause statement indicating he just wanted to shoot somebody that day, and then he in fact did shoot somebody.
Randy Chaparro and his lawyers stayed silent Tuesday afternoon during his first court appearance as an attorney read over his statement to police in the investigation of the shooting and killing of Robert D'Annunzio. Police say it happened at around 3 a.m. Monday morning inside an apartment at a complex located near Pine and Pacific during a get-together hosted by someone who knew both men. After interviewing several witnesses, detectives say one saw Chaparro shoot D'Annunzio in the head, rifled through his clothes, and ran away. D'Annunzio was taken to Sacred Heart, where he died later that night. His mother Lydia spoke over Zoom during Chaparro's court appearance.
My son was an innocent child, and he didn't deserve to be murdered.
One witness in the investigation told detectives she was in the company of Chaparro at a nearby apartment and told her he said he felt like killing somebody that day, according to court documents. Police were able to find Chaparro later that night through surveillance video that showed him going back to the same apartment and never leaving. They arrested Chaparro for second-degree murder and first-degree assault, who, as it turns out, was originally out of jail on release conditions for a case in which he was charged with unlawful possession of a firearm. He's now booked in the Spokane County Jail. A criminal history check also shows Chaparro has other felonies, including attempted assault in the second degree by strangulation, domestic violence, and manufacturing a controlled substance. While he's now in jail, the victim's mom, Lydia, told the court today what she now wants for her son.
My son deserves justice.
A judge set Chaparro's bond at $5 million. His arraignment is scheduled for December 4th. In Spokane, Connor McAvoy, KREM 2 News.
Well, some protesters arrested at the downtown Spokane ICE protest over the summer may change their pleas.
So one of those people include former Spokane City Council President Ben Stuckert, who initially pleaded not guilty. Stuckert and 8 others face charges of conspiracy to impede or injure officers. 2 of those people face charges of assault on a federal officer. The charges stem from the anti-ICE protest in June following the detention of 2 Venezuelan men seeking asylum. One person, Mickey Hatfield, is expected to be in court today for a change of plea hearing. Ben Stuckert is expected to be in court on Monday.
New this morning, the city of Spokane is giving grant money to organizations that help with opioid treatment and recovery. It's called the Culturally Specific Treatment of Opioid Use Disorder Grant. The city's goal is to help plan and launch different treatment centers to give everybody the ability to find recovery options. They're accepting applications for this grant right now.
Right now, there's a push to protect a rare flower that grows in central Washington. The Center for Biological Diversity has filed a petition with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service under the Endangered Species Act. It's called the Wanapum oxytrope. It grows exclusively along the Saddle Mountains. The difference, though, between the Wanapum and the normal oxytrope is its pink color you see. Experts worry without federal protection, the flower could disappear, citing the number of flowers has dropped about 70% in recent years.
The Center for Biological Diversity announced it is suing the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service for not developing a national gray wolf recovery plan. Last month, the Trump administration published a finding that said protecting the gray wolf under the Endangered Species Act is not appropriate anymore. Because of that, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service said it would not create an updated recovery plan. So now the Center for Biological Diversity started the process to file a lawsuit. Under the Endangered Species Act, they first have to submit a 60-day notice of intent to sue. Then they plan to formally file the lawsuit in February.
6:07, here's a look at our forecast today. No active rain or snowfall for this Wednesday. Instead, it's just the messy streets that weren't plowed yesterday and a bit of patchy fog. Tomorrow we'll be back into a wintry mix scenario because there's a bit of moisture that's just starting to aim at the Pacific Northwest. So there might actually be some light rain on the west side today that'll arrive tomorrow. Today, though, a dry day, but the chance of patchy fog in the morning hours. A lot going on, not just the rain versus snow impacts tomorrow, but a big warm up starting this weekend. That could push temperatures not only in the 40s, but perhaps even close to 50 degrees next week. So that's going to be a big shift in our weather pattern. So a lot to cover through this extended outlook coming up.
As the holiday season kicks off, the Isaac Foundation, a Spokane organization offering support for children with autism, is hosting its annual Taste of Gingerbread event.
KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones live with the organization this morning. So Brandon, what have you learned about this annual celebration? Tell us about it. Good morning.
Good morning, Tim, Nicole. Well, the event is this weekend. Again, Taste of Gingerbread. This is something that you all do every single year. I've got Kelly, I've got Holly here with the Isaac Foundation. And can we just talk about this annual event that, just brings a lot of joy to, I imagine, many families?
I've participated in this event ever since I was a little kid, but being able to provide that experience to the kids now and make it magical for them and have Santa come and the Grinch is coming, it just really makes me feel fulfilled and like I'm doing a really great thing.
Well, you talk about that fulfillment, and for you, Holly, this is something that your children, have had autism, and then also now you're in a position where you can help other families. So can you talk about just what that's like for you?
Oh my gosh, it's kind of full circle because I was just kind of thinking back that, I've been doing autism parenting from a parenting perspective for like over 20 years. Yeah. And just yesterday we had our parents coffee chat. And as you're sitting around talking to parents and just, holidays are really hard because it's a change of schedule. There's, you might be traveling, you might have guests coming into your home, or even just some of the struggles about going and, they won't eat the traditional foods. Families don't understand that they need extra supports during the holidays. And so what's nice is in this environment, all of those types of things go away. So we can provide it in a way that makes sense for families who have loved ones that have autism, rare disorders, or developmental disabilities. So it feels great. I love it.
I can imagine there's a lot of emotions from their end as well, knowing that there's a place here in Spokane where maybe you just relate a little bit more, or that they're not alone. What's that like, just letting them know that?
I think that from a parenting perspective, that was the biggest thing that changed my life. When my son Isaac was diagnosed, I didn't know a single person that had a child with autism, and I felt so alone, and nobody could understand the differences and those experiences and the small wins and celebrations that other people are like, you take for granted, right? And so it was kind of a nice moment yesterday where we're still talking about hard things, but you're also laughing about things that are equally hard, but with people that actually understand. And so I think that, with my other subsequent children that have autism, it wasn't as scary and as lonely because you have a community of people that you can find support with.
Well, I can tell you, this is a good community right here. Thank you for doing what you do. We appreciate you. We're going to have some more details about the Taste of Gingerbread event coming up in the next half hour, but thank you, Kelly and Holly. We'll toss it back to you in the studio.